Nearly 8 months since the Chicago Rockford International Airport launched its partnership with American Airlines and Landline. Airport leaders say ticket sales saw a significant jump.
Reporter Alyssa Kelly sat down with airport leadership and Landline riders to see how the service could shape and strengthen the future of RFD.
Yes, Sydney, Mike, I spoke with riders who shared both those pros and cons of the landline service, but many tell me they had an overall positive experience. Airport leaders say since the October launch, ticket sales jumped nearly 400% by February and stayed more than 145% above launch month levels in April.
It's super awesome. I highly recommend it to anyone.
The American Airlines Landline service out of the Chicago Rockford International Airport sees its fair share of users since its launch in October.
I actually purposely seek out American Airlines flights to wherever I'm going just because of this.
Since service started, leaders at RFD say ticket sales grew significantly, up nearly 400% compared to the first month.
We're just wanting to have the service being utilized, trying to get more and more people to recognize the difference between this service with Landline out of Rockford as, essentially air service on a bus versus your traditional shuttle service to and from.
RFD Airport Executive Director Zach Oakley says if the airport wants improved service from airlines like American, they must show growth in what's already offered. He says if people keep using the service, it could lead to more departures and returns.
So right now we're at 4 departures and returns daily. So we want to get that up to 5, 6, 7. So we just need more people utilizing the service. But the ultimate goal is to trigger actual air service with this to a Dallas or Charlotte, really any American hub.
Most users of the American Airlines service reported positive feedback.
I've used it a few times now. So I've used it actually the first week it came out and just recently used it a few months ago. And I love it, honestly.
While some report a great experience, others told me they ran into some trouble. But leaders at RFD say a few hiccups are expected, especially in that first year.
There was some kinks. It was kind of the bus route, waiting, to get dropped off and then waiting for the bags. That was the very first week though. And even since then, I have seen improvements.
In just the last 2 years, RFD broke its passenger record, and Executive Director Zach Oakley says they are on track to break it again this year.
It's a neat service for sure. Thank you, Alyssa. And in April, the airport was up 30% year over year for the month. Oakley says the airport sees strong success on the air service side, and he credits the landline service as a big part of the deal.